"Oh yes," said Dame Shoo. "I'll go and tell everyone else, and we'll see what we can do." Well, she hurried off along to tell someone the news. On the way she passed the fire station. She peeped inside, and to her great surprise, she saw the big fire engine still there. It hadn't gone to the Twiddles. "Oh, I say!" cried Dame Shoo, rushing into the fire station in a great hurry. "Haven't you heard the dreadful fire at the Twiddles' house? It will be burnt down to nothing if you don't hurry at once."
"Oh, first we've heard of it!" cried the captain of the fire brigade, and he sounded the big bell at once. In 3 minutes every fireman was in his place, complete with helmet. With a loud clang, clang, clang of bells, the great red fire engine roared about the building. Clang, 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 it sped away to Mr. Twiddle's house. Everyone ran after it to see what was going on. It stopped outside Mr. Twiddle's house. The fireman undid the long hose and looked for the fire. Mrs. Twiddle looked out of the window. She saw the fire engine. She saw the fireman unwinding the hose. She saw the crowds and crowds of people. Whatever had they all come for? I wonder what they had come for, Maddie. She opened the door and looked out. "Hi, Mrs. Twiddle, where's the fire?" shouted the men. "What fire?" asked Mrs. Twiddle in the greatest astonishment. "Oh, the fire we've come to put out," said the men. "Well, there's only one fire in the house, and that's in my kitchen grate," said Mrs. Twiddle, even more astonished. "And I'm sure I don't want that put out, thank you." At that moment Mr. Twiddle walked up, looking as surprised as he could be to see such a crowd outside his house. "You said there was a terrible fire in your house," cried Dame Shoo. "Oh, I didn't," said Mr. Twiddle indignantly. "Oh, you did," shouted everyone. "I only told Mrs. Gavel I had burnt my handkerchief by mistake," shouted Mr. Twiddle, and he went inside and banged the door. The fire engine turned round and drove off in disgust. Everyone went home. Mrs. Twiddle stared at Mr. Twiddle crossly. "Do you need to bring the fire engine here in half the town, just because you happen to have burnt your handkerchief?" she said. "Really, Mr. Twiddle, please don't do any more foolish things today." "Don't worry, I shan't," said Mr. Twiddle gloomily, and he threw his hat into the waste paper basket and hung up his newspaper on a peg. That was a bit silly, wasn't it? Well, really, Mr. Twiddle. Here we go, Maddie. We're going to pop this up onto YouTube and see if Auntie Sam can see it. God bless.